Are we live? We are live. We are live. Hopefully, you guys can hear me as well. Hopefully, you guys can hear me also. We are live. All right. If you guys are in the chat, if someone is listening, if someone is here, please leave a thumbs up if you guys can hear me well. If you guys can hear me okay, please let me know. But we are live, baby. We are live. All right. Let's get this show going. Let's see. So, we're live. All right. So in this live stream, what we are about to do is we are about to answer some questions that got asked in the comments. Some questions. We are going to help people with some questions. If you have some questions, if you want to know, you're on your journey or your Scrum Master journey, you're looking for a job, you already have a job, if you need help with anything, drop them in the comments below. All right, we're live and we are kicking, baby. Let's roll. All right, let's see what we can do with this edit thing. All right, we're good. We don't need to play around much. So we are live now. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat. Let's go. All right, so we are going to answer some questions from the comments in this video. If you guys who are watching, who are part of the stream, if you have any questions, leave them in the chat. And we are also going to discuss some ways how new people without experience, without things, how they can become Scrum Masters. We are going to get into the real nitty gritty, baby, the real meat, the real situation, that you don't hear from anybody else but here. We're going to tell you the real truth, the real honest truth. Thanks for this live stream, NGI Pastor. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for watching, Mr. Pastor. All right, so let's get into the questions. So the first question that get asked from me, I don't know if I can share my screen with you guys. I wish I could share my screen with you guys show you my YouTube channel. Daniel Bangura, I know you, don't you? Don't I think I know you. How do you overcome interview nerves? Okay, we'll get into that, Daniel. Don't worry about it. We'll get into that. How's it going? Thanks for giving us your time. You're welcome, Mr. Monsieur. Thank you so much. All right, so let's get into the nitty gritty, guys. All right, you will hear the real truth here. No fakeness. We play the real game. All right, so the first question is coming from is Time Pass. I wish I could show you guys my channel. But Time Pass, he or she says, thanks. With regards to two questions about definition of done and acceptance criteria, will the tester test the negative test cases be part of acceptance criteria? Yeah, it will be a part of overall definition of done. It can be part of acceptance criteria, but it will be part of the overall definition of done for the particular user story. Generally, the user story for testing and the user story for actual work is different. So development will have a separate user story, and the testing team will have their own separate user story with their own separate acceptance criteria. And it's general, like common sense. If testing team has their story, it has to pass the testing, right? So if the testing team has their story, then it will has to pass their testing. But some teams do have combined stories for for development as well as testing. So what they do is they will have a user story. Once the development is done, they will put it in the comments. Hey, the development is done. Now the testing team can pick it up. Then the testing team picks it up. But if you are a Scrum Master of that team, make sure you remove that habit. You make stories separate for the development as well as for the testing team. Make them separate. All right. Now, what this person is asking is a non-permittable special character, etc., or enter wrong password. What is the prompt? Or will they be separate stories and hence? Yeah, as I said, they will be separate stories and hence separate criteria. Your goal as a person as a Scrum Master has to make sure that the testing team is as efficient as they can be. They're planning all the live cases before even the sprint starts and before even work starts. So you have to do that. Bhavana Bajpayee, hello. All right. So the next question comes from Sanchita Acharya. Okay. How does a Scrum Master handle difficult stakeholders? Can you also elaborate what is technical? How does a Scrum Master handle difficult stakeholders? So first of all, Sanchita, the idea that a Scrum Master has to handle stakeholders is wrong. The stakeholders deal with the product owner or the business representative, whoever is the business representative in the teams, right? The stakeholders do not directly deal with the Scrum Master. It is very rare to find situations where a Scrum Master is directly dealing with the stakeholders. Okay, so if you are in a situation where a Scrum Master is directly dealing with the stakeholders, most likely the business wants you to do some product owner and some business analyst roles along with being a scrum master as well. So in that situation, how you will handle with difficult stakeholders is, first of all, let me be clear with you, right? Everything is this is a relationship based business. Being a scrum master is a relationship based business. You are dealing with people. It's not it's not a software developer role. Software developer is sitting in front of the computer and writing code. You are not writing code, you are dealing with people. So being a scrum master is a people based business. So you have to know how to build relations, right? So the first thing when you are dealing with the difficult stakeholder is it's your weakness. Because if you know you have to deal with the stakeholder, you have to work on building that relationship before the project even starts. You have to take them out for a coffee, say hello, say hi, I live here, what's going on, how are you, hopefully everything is wonderful, God is great, thank you so much. You have to build that relationship. It's a relationship based business, right? So if you are dealing with the difficult stakeholders, somewhere there is a weakness in you because you didn't work on that relationship, at least in a formal level, where the person knows you are a very nice person, you're a genuine person, you like to help people and things like that. When they know that, they won't be difficult anymore. And even if then they're still being difficult, then that's where the working agreements or the sign-offs come in. So for example, I have a stakeholder, right? She wants something done a certain way. Okay, no worries, I'll take those requirements down, I break them down into technical user stories with the help of the technical team. Once I have all that structure set up before the start of the sprint, I'll take it to the stakeholder. Hey, give me a sign here. She will sign there. We have her word. She signed there. Now, if she changes anything, we can always go back. We can always discuss with her. Hey, this is what you said. This is what you do. Da 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 da. Right? So we can make those things happen. But if a scrum master is being difficult, there is weakness in you as a scrum master. Okay, there is weakness in you as a scrum master. So you need to work on yourself, your relationship building things. Now, remember one thing I said. This is a relationship based business. Being a scrum master, you don't sit in the front of the computer and you don't type code in Jira. No, you are building relationships. You are building relationship. It's that simple. You cannot just be, oh, I know scrum ceremony, I'm a scrum master. No, you need to be a relationship based person. It's a people business. Management of people is a people business. You need to build relationships in this game if you want to be successful. Okay, so that's the difference between handling difficult people, or let the difficult people take care of themselves. If you already have a relationship, you don't need to worry about difficult people. All you need to worry about just building those relationships. So now the next comment that came I got is with Dare with Anand. uh, Dare with Anand says, what will happen if the product owner is not available during sprint planning meeting? Okay, as a scrum master, what I will do to conduct the sprint planning meeting, explain this scenario. Okay, so the thing is that, if the product owner is not available during sprint planning meeting and you as a scrum master are given the responsibility of handling the sprint planning meeting, then what's the problem with that? In the sprint planning meeting, all you have to do is pick up stories and put them in the sprint. There is already refined. They have already been given proper criteria. They have already got the story points. All you have to do is pick them up and put them in the proper sprint that is about to start. So what's the problem in doing that? You as a scrum master can do that, right? It's not a big deal. Come on. So if the product owner is not there, let him or her take a breather. Come on. They work very hard. Okay. Product owner is not an easy role. I'm a product owner right now. We work very hard. Okay. Let him or her take a breather. If they are not in the sprint planning session, then and you are not able to handle that sprint planning session, what does that tell me about you? That you are sleeping at your job. You are not a good scrum master. So if you are a good scrum master and a product owner is off during sprint planning, well, let them be off. You did already backlog refinement, didn't you? If you did backlog refinement there with Anand, if you have done backlog refinement properly, then you already have a refined backlog. You have refined user stories with story points, with acceptance criteria. All you need to do is pick them from the backlog, put them in the sprint. How hard is that? Ask your children to do that. They can do that for you. It's not hard at all. So if you are saying that a product owner is not available during sprint planning meeting, as a scrum master, what I'll do to conduct the sprint planning meeting, explain. So if you are saying that you cannot do that simple thing of keep picking things from the backlog and putting them in the sprint, I mean, you are getting paid $130,000 as a scrum master. Do we really need you then? It's a simple question. Do we really need you? So if a product owner is not there during the sprint planning meeting, just run it, man. Come on, goddamn it. That's your ceremony. Just do it. Okay. Basically, sprint planning is simple. You just pick things from the backlog, put them in the sprint. That's it. And you get the sprint started. All right, guys, this is our sprint goal. This is what we're working on for the sprint. Adios. That's it. So, yeah, so that's what you will do in that situation. Okay. What is the can you say definition of done to be when the product releases potential shippable increments? Definition definition of done can be anything. I mean, that can be a definition of done for particular release. When a shippable product is released, a potential shippable product is released in an increment. Definition of done has to be decided by your team on your product according to you what you want. I have some comments in here. I'll get to them. Yeah, let's get to the comments. I'll read the most other one. Okay, hello, greeting. Thanks for this live stream. Thank you, Mr. Pastor. Daniel Bangura, how do you overcome interview nerves? How do you overcome interview nerves? You overcome interview nerves by being goddamn confident. When you are sitting in an interview, you should sit with the mindset that they are not interviewing you, you are interviewing them, whether they deserve you or not. That's how much confident you need to be. If you are not that confident, then you don't need to be in that interview. So when you're sitting in an interview, how you overcome interview nerves is you sit down. I'm not interviewing, they are not interviewing you. You are interviewing them. You are having a conversation with them. You should treat it like a friendly conversation. Uh, so that's how you get rid of interview nerves. So the only way to get rid of interview nerves is be confident within yourself that they are not interviewing you, you are interviewing them. So for example, when I say that, when you're sitting in an interview, they're asking you questions, okay, but then you ask them questions. What is your team doing right now? What is your team problem you are facing? Let me give you some suggestions. Maybe your team is facing some problems I can help you with right now. That's how confident you need to be. And if you are not at that level, then you are not ready to start applying. Okay, you want me to tell you the real truth? You are not ready to start applying. If you are facing nervousness during the interview, then you need to go back. You need to get some practical experience with someone like my group. Click on that mentorship link down below. Or you need to go back. You need to start preparing from all over again until you get that confidence. Do not sit in that interview, because let me tell you something. Now, let's say if you sit in that interview, let's say 1% chance you crack that interview, you get the job. What will you do then? You are a Scrum Master. You are a leader of the team. You're a manager of the team. They want you to lead. You come in there, well, I don't know. They will fire you. They will fire you. The team needs to look up to you like you're a leader. The team needs to respect you. You're a team manager, right? And that's the reality of the situation. You are a team manager, and nobody will tell you that, because now, Agile, everybody's. In reality, the people, they need management. People need management, because it's a multi-million-dollar project. So you have to manage things. You have to manage the project. You have to manage people. As a Scrum Master, following the Scrum process. But we don't use those terms anymore. But the reality is that that's the situation, no matter where you go. So you are nervous during the interview. What does that tell you about yourself? That you are not ready. You have to be ready in yourself, man. When you're sitting in the interview, you have to be ready to interview those people that are interviewing you. You have to treat it like a conversation. Okay, that's what I always say. Treat the interviews like a conversation. Even if you are not ready and you get an interview opportunity, treat it like a conversation. They get to know them, get to know their product, get to know their teams, get to see how they work, how they operate. Take those notes down, and then maybe next time use it as a leverage. When you give the next interview, use it as a power. Okay, practice. Those kind of things. That's how you reduce nervousness in the interview, man. This is a tough game. It's not an easy game. And with the market the way it is right now, it's not getting any easier. Let me be honest with you. It's not getting any easier. Okay. So you gotta be tough, man. You gotta prepare for the interview. You gotta prepare for things, and I can give you the soft, easy stuff. Oh, you just do that. You learn Scrum. You do this. You will be fine. No, man. You'll be fired. Even if you get a job. First, you will not get a job. Even if you get a job, you'll be fired. It's that simple. If I'm a business owner, if I'm a team manager, I have a budget that I have to work with. If I'm paying 130,000 of that budget to you every year, and you come in there and you don't know what the hell you're doing, you're shooting arrows in the dark, why the hell do I need you? Ask yourself that question. If somebody's paying you $130,000, they have certain expectations from you. And if you cannot meet those expectations, why are you there? Why should I keep you there? You understand what I'm saying? So think about those things and think from that angle, and maybe you will be able to help yourself more that way. But you need to be prepared. You cannot be slacking in this market, in this game. It's that simple. All right, let's move on to the next question. Monsieur Textiles, how is going? Thanks for giving us your time. You're welcome, sir. Thank you so much. Bhavna Bajpai, hi. Daniel Bangura, I have watched your videos a lot and it helped me greatly. Thanks for all the videos. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome a lot. Subhashini S, hi, bro. Hello, Subhash. How are you? Very nice. Monsieur Textile, can you please describe what kind of projects financial institutions use? What kind of projects? So, right now, all the big banks, they're going through transformations. So the transfer, I don't want to give someone's personal business away, but the transformation that they're doing is basically they are migrating everything from their legacy platforms on perm platforms all the way to the AWS or Azure DevOps cloud and things like that. So transformations are going on, those kind of projects are going on right now on a big level. Other projects that financial institutions are doing right now is, they're just building up new platforms, and they're maintaining new platforms, they're acquiring companies, so they are merging those companies with their current platforms. Those are some of the things that financial companies are generally doing, big financial companies right now, from what I hear. All right, so now the next question is from Bhavna Bajpai. So if you join new team and don't have much time to build that kind of relationship, then how to tackle that situation? That's where the working agreement comes in, Bhavna Bajpai. That's where the working agreement, I keep saying working agreement over and over. So what is a working agreement? A working agreement is basically a set of verbal agreements that, for example, if, for example, right, I have a mentorship program that you can get into on the link down below. I have a mentorship program. When I am taking a student in the mentorship program, I'm explaining to them, Bhavna, this is what you can expect from the program. This is what the rules are. This is what you can expect from me, and this is what my expectations are from you. You have to work hard. You have to show up on time. You have to finish the homework. You have to be in the project involved. When the technical team is asking you questions, you have to have certain sort of verbal understandings with the other person, right? That is a working agreement. So when you join a new team and you don't have a relationship with them, and then how you are able to tackle that situation is by having the working agreement in place. You are already making clear to that person that, hey, this is what we discussed, this is what you can expect from me, and this is what I can expect from you, and this is how we are going to build this relationship. So that's what you can do, Bhavna. And if you don't have it, Bhavna, you are already part of the mentorship group, so you don't have to be worried. I'll already give you those things before you start a new job. So I'll give you those tools, don't worry. But that is how you build those kind of relationships, and that is how you secure those kind of relationships in the long term. And not only that, let me tell you something. You have to keep reiterating those working agreements every 2 months, every 3 months, every 1 month. Go over them again. Go redefine that relationship again, because there is a possibility you join the team today. There is a possibility after 1 month the dynamic of the relationship is different. The next one dynamic is different. So you have to keep reiterating and making sure that you have to bring that, make sure that happens. Okay. Thanks for impacting in us, Chayoma Nawabuni. Thank you so much, Chayoma. Oh, Teresa, I think that's Teresa. Chayoma Teresa, I think that's my friend. Okay. Suba, please talk about user story mapping. User story mapping. So user story mapping is basically putting them on a roadmap and kind of attaching them to an epic or to a feature, and kind of having a map of how the roadmap will be fulfilled. So basically, like, you are going somewhere. Let's say you are going on a tour. On a tour, you have like different parts. For example, I have a Tesla. So whenever I'm taking my Teslas, I have two Teslas. So whenever I'm taking my Teslas, I'm planning. With family, we are planning like, here we will stop, we'll charge. Here we'll stop, we'll charge. Here we'll stop, we'll charge. So we are doing a mapping that, oh, this is how the roadmap will go, and this is where we'll stop. So that is user story mapping. So we're basically attaching them to the roadmap and kind of figuring out how things will go. Okay. Bhavna, I meant stakeholder relationships. Stakeholders relationships is important. Yeah, you have to build those relationships. So this is the thing, right? The relationship with stakeholder is defined by the contract. Okay, you as a Scrum Master, as I said, you are not directly involved in building stakeholder relationships. There is generally a business representative, like a product owner, or like someone in the business, on the business side, that will be part of your team that will represent the stakeholder relationship. Okay, so to manage those stakeholder relationship, you will deal with that business person. You don't directly have to be involved, but if you have to be involved, make sure whatever I mentioned in the beginning of the live video, get those sign offs, get that business document well defined. You cannot really build a working agreement with the stakeholders in many situations, because it's basically, it's very very different role as compared to the team roles. But you can definitely have those sign offs, have that good relationship, working relationship with them, explain to them who you are, where you're coming from, things like that. You can definitely have those things. So watch the video from the beginning, watch this live video from the beginning, you will get what I'm saying. Okay. Shweta Vimula, yes, thank you. Suba, please talk about one or two scenarios where a Scrum Master faces critical challenges, risks. Thank you. So the biggest challenge that a Scrum Master, in my opinion, that generally a Scrum Master faces is, uh, you know from team members and from non-cooperative team members. When you have non-cooperative senior team members, or when you have non-cooperative management, that is one of your biggest challenges. And it's not like you build them to be non-cooperative. It's because they might not like you, or they might think this and they might think that. Those are some of the biggest challenges that you will face in your career as a scrum master. It's basically non-cooperative people who don't like you and who try to give you a hard time, whether they are in your team or whether they are in the management or whether they are your PO or someone like that. That will be your toughest challenge as a scrum master. Everything else is easy. People are hard. Okay. And this is a people based business, relationship based business. If you know how to build relationships, you'll be very successful in a scrum master business. But uh, technology also, you have to know technology also, not just people, but that's some part of the equation. The big part of the equation is people, so you have to be a very people based person. So the biggest challenge as a scrum master you will face is with people in your team who are tough with you, and people in the management who are tough with you, who don't like you and who will be giving you a hard time. Those are the people you need to be careful, because they will try to push your buttons and you have to control your emotions at all times. Okay. So that's how you will face your biggest challenge. Now, one or two scenarios you want me to talk is that, for example, just let me give you a simple scenario based example. For example, if this is asked you from your interview, you can answer this question as well. For example, in one of the cases, what we happened was that, one of my fellow scrum masters, we had a dependency on a different team, and the fellow scrum master, he started acting difficult because he didn't want that dependency to be resolved, and until that dependency got resolved, we couldn't move further in our sprint. So we had the dependency on the data team, and the scrum master from that team didn't want to work on that dependency because they already had their sprint goal and they were working on the sprint goal, but he didn't want to adjust his little bit of his sprint goal to accommodate that dependency so that we can move ahead and our work can keep going and our team doesn't get stalled. So in that case, what happened was that I explained to the scrum master, hey, please resolve this dependency so we can move further, but the scrum master wasn't budging, and he felt that I'm rude or I'm this and that, how some people are sometimes. So in that situation, what ended up happening was that we brought it up in the scrum of scrums, and they didn't get resolved. So I brought it up to senior scrum masters and agile coaches in my team, and they were able to get it resolved, and they were able to tell me, hey, explain to that scrum master the value this brings to his team, to him, how it benefits him, and then go with that mindset. And I tried that and it didn't work out quite well, but slowly with convincing from different people, we were able to get it resolved and getting different people involved and things like that. Sometimes there can be tough people like that you have to deal with, and it's very common. So those are going to be the biggest challenge. Risks. The biggest risk that a scrum master faces is basically it's, as I said, it's people related. You have to control your emotions and you have to be professional. You have to be nice to people. You cannot pinpoint a one single person in one single meeting. For example, if someone is not doing their work right, you cannot stand up in the stand up and say, hey, that person, why are you not doing it? You cannot pinpoint people. You can never pinpoint people in this environment. You have to be very careful with your words, very professional. Even if you're not professional, you have to be nice. You have to be civil with people. You cannot let your emotions control you. It's a very it's a very corporate environment kind of thing. So you have to be careful with those kind of things. Those are the biggest risks that you will face, honestly. Other than that, everything else is peach. It's easy job. All right. Subhashini S. On the question, tell me about yourself. Should I talk about my education and work experience, or should I talk about what would I do as a scrum master? Grunt test. Grunt test. I don't know what grunt test is. Okay. So, when you are talking about yourself, let me tell you something. So all the people that are watching live right now, you guys are going to get the gold. Let me tell you something. When you are asked this question, tell me about yourself, this is your opportunity to create a first impression. You will never get this opportunity again. The impression that you create right now in front of that person, you will never get this opportunity ever again. Okay. So should I talk about, you have to talk about everything that will make you look impressive. The thing is that the first 3 minutes of the interview decide the course of the interview. If you can impress a person during the first 3 minutes of the interview, there is a very high probability you will get that damn job. So the first 3 minutes of the interview are super critical for any interview. So you have to do whatever, you have to throw at the wall whatever you got with all your strength to crack that interview, because the first 3 minutes will decide the course of the interview. And if you can impress that person, impress that interviewers within the first 3 minutes, even if you do mistakes in the rest of the interview, you will get the job. You know why? Because you were so strong in the first 3 minutes of the interview. Always remember that. The first 3 minutes decide the course of the interview. And if you can impress the person during the first 3 minutes with your education, with your experience, what you have done, what kind of teams you have built, you will crack that job interview. Because Nobody else does it better than you. Nobody else could explain yourself better than you. So the first 3 minutes, anything you got, any word in your vocabulary, throw it at them, because the first 3 minutes is like a battle. You have to win it. You have to fight till death. That kind of thing. The first 3 minutes, you have to impress that person to the best of your ability. And if you are able to do that, you, even if you make mistakes down the line during the interview, you will be set, because the other person's red flags are already down. The way you explain things, they like it. The way you are, big with things, the way you what you have done, where you come from, what's your background, what you are doing right now, all these things should be there in your first 3 minutes. And if you can do that, it will set you apart from other people who are not able to explain better, who are not able to explain themselves in a good way. Now, those people, even if they make a slight mistake that didn't explain themselves, even if they make a slight mistake, the flags are not down yet. The person that you're interviewing with, he's not comfortable with you yet, and they start answering questions. They're game. They're game. Even if they make a slight mistake, they're out. But you, because you have built that rapport, the background is there, they understand you at a different level. Now you are in. Now he's comfortable, he or she's comfortable, their red flags are down. So the first 3 minutes are very important. So to answer your question, Subha, you have to throw at them whatever you got. You have to impress them in every way possible. Be as powerful as you can in the first 3 minutes. All right. Absolutely right. That makes a lot of sense. NJ Pastor, thank you, sir. Monsieur Textiles, thanks. Thank you, sir. Monsieur Textile, how long should you wait till you bring up a working agreement? So, Monsieur, it depends on the team, and it depends on the people in the team. So if the people in the team are open and cooperative with you, bring it up in the first 1 month. Bring it up in the first 1 month, before you actually jump on things, And let me tell you something. It's a funny part. As a Scrum Master, when you join a team, in other jobs as a developer, they might give you 1 month to train, they might give you 2 months to train. As a Scrum Master, you are expected to start controlling the stand-up from first week. They might not say that, but you are expected to start working as a Scrum Master from the first week onwards. And that's why I say so many people get fired within the first 3 months, because the companies are very demanding from the role of a Scrum Master, because you are expected to start performing from the first day onwards, and you have to control the stand-ups. You have to run everything. And the people who are new, who have never worked before, who are just watching YouTube videos and cracking interviews, they are not able to do that most of the time, and they get caught. Some get caught, some don't get caught. It depends on the environment. But you have to be ready to take over from the first day you get the job. From the first day you get the job, you have to be ready to take over the ceremonies and start performing. Because you know why? Because this is a leadership role. You are managing a team. Nobody will tell you that. People will say, oh, agile servant leader, da 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 da. You are managing the team. When you join the team, you will feel how powerful this role is. You have a big impact on the team. Team looks up to you in the daily stand-up. Team looks up to you for direction. You are a team leader. Okay, when you are a leader, you are expected to perform. There is no weakness. There are no complaints. There's nothing like that. You have to perform. And that's why when you join a company as a Scrum Master, within the first week, you will be expected to control everything, start making moves. If you don't, they won't say it. They won't say it for the first 3 months. But if you don't, they're watching. Everyone is watching, because it's a leadership role, and it has a lot of eyes on it. Okay, so be careful with that. So that's what I would suggest. Bhavna Bajpayee, thanks. Okay, yeah, you're welcome. Sweta Vemula, what can we answer for how do you handle conflict with product owner or stakeholder in real-time scenario? So, in this case, see, this is the thing. How you handle, so this is the thing, right? When you are giving a Scrum Master interview, right? When you are giving any Scrum Master interview, you want 3 things to be absolutely clear on yourself, and your goal for the interview should be that the interviewer is clear on those 3 things. I always say that: people, process, product. How you handle people, how you handle conflict with people, how you build relationships with people, how you manage relationship with people, working agreements, conflicts, all these things. Process. How did you improve the process? What did you do in the process? What was the process like? What did you do? What part did you play in improving the process? Product. What did you do for the product? What was the product you were building? Who was managing that product? What was your role in that product? People, process, product. These 3 things define the scope of every company. When you are interviewing with someone, these are golden words. Don't forget, when you are interviewing with someone, you first have to understand in you: people, process, product. which company you worked for, what was the people like, what was the process like, what was the product like. And you have to have three scenarios for each company. If you worked at one company, three scenarios for people, three scenarios for process, three scenarios for product. Nobody will tell you this. I'm telling you this right now. Use this. The second thing is that for every company that you work for, you need to have three scenarios for people, process, product, three scenarios for each. Okay. And the tell me about yourself question. You do these four things, you can crack any interview in this goddamn world. That's my word to you. Now, the other thing is that what can we answer for how do you handle conflict with the product owner? Now, how you handle any conflict with anybody in the tech team is you have to have a working agreement. That's being proactive. Now, if you are being reactive, you have to show empathy. And remember that word in the agile world, in the corporate world, nowadays, the word empathy is a very powerful word. You use the word empathy and you build a lot of rapport with the other person. So, what did I tell you now? Repeat after me. First of all, you can crack any goddamn interview in this fucking world if you use three things: people, process, and product. What is people? People is how you handle conflict and how you handle people in your team. They need to understand how you did that. The second thing is process. What was the process like? What did you add in that process? What was your value in that process? Third thing is product. What was the product like? What did you do in the product? What was your role in that product? If you can explain three things to the interviewer, you are in any door. You can, any interview you do, you will crack it. And the first thing is always tell me about yourself and people, process, and product. Now, how you prepare for people, process, and product? People, you have three scenarios for every company you work for. You have one scenario for conflict. You have one scenario for how you handle with the difficult team members. You have one scenario for how you build the working agreement and things like that. Process, you have one scenario for what the process like, what did you do in that process. You have product, one scenario for what was the product like, what did you do in that product, how was the product managed, who was the product owner, how did the product owner work. So if you understand these things for about before any interview yourself about your roles, and you can explain them succinctly to the interviewer, you can crack any goddamn interview. You don't need any training whatsoever. Okay, remember that and use that. Okay, now the thing is that how you handle conflict. So when I hear people, so how you handle conflict with PO is that you need to have a working agreement. If you have a working agreement with the person, that already resolves a lot of problem, because it already sets the bar high for the conversations that are about to happen. When you can set that bar high, it resolves a lot of problems. Now, how you handle conflict if it comes in the middle of the sprint? Remember that word, empathy. Empathy is a very powerful word in this world, in corporate world. Empathy is a very powerful word. How you use the word empathy in the interview, the more you use it, the more you win. Empathy is a very powerful word. Just remember that in today's world, empathy is a very powerful word. I repeat it again. Empathy is a very powerful word. Nobody will tell you these secrets. I'm telling you because I'm from the world. Okay. So use the word empathy. How did you handle those solutions? You use the word empathy. I showed empathy towards the other person's cause. And when I showed empathy towards the other person's cause, I understood where he or she is coming from. And then I was able to explain where I'm coming from. And when I can see where he or she is coming from and I can explain where I'm coming from, now we can meet in the middle. That's how you handle any conflict. That's how you answer any conflict answer. If anybody asks you, how did you handle conflict? I showed empathy toward that other person's cause, where he or she was coming from. And I tried to understand their situation, because if they are saying something, they must be coming from somewhere. And I tried to understand where they are coming from. And I tried to show them where I am coming from, why what I am saying is important. And when I can show them, and when you meet in the middle, that's the resolution to any conflict. Any conflict, even in your business life, even in your personal life, you have to show empathy. So that empathy word is a very powerful word in the corporate world today. Just remember that. Okay. So how you handle conflict with PO? Empathy. With the stakeholders, you cannot show empathy or anything. They will kick you out. Stakeholder is a very important role. They are business people. They are your bread and butter. So stakeholders are run by contracts. You have to have certain contracts with them. The contracts will allow whether you interact with the stakeholder or not. If the contract with the company says that Scrum Master cannot interact there, you cannot do nothing. The product owner or the business person is the only person that can interact with the stakeholders. Okay, this is how this world works. And I'm telling you because I run a recruiting company. I take my own contracts. I work for a company. I do these. I'm in the game big time. And that's what I'm telling you from inside. So you cannot deal directly with the stakeholders. You have to have a business person that deals with the stakeholder. If they don't have a business person, they will expect you to deal with the stakeholder. And how you deal with them is relationship building, the skill of relationship building. That's how you deal with it. You don't deal with stakeholders, you manage stakeholders. Remember that term. You deal with the product owner, you deal with the technical team, you deal with conflict. With the stakeholders, they are your bread and butter. You don't deal with them, you manage them. Never say you deal with the stakeholder. If somebody is asking you in an interview and they're asking you, hey, how do you deal with a difficult stakeholder? Just remember that person is fucking stupid, because you don't deal with the stakeholder. You manage stakeholders. Stakeholders are your bread and butter. They are business owners, right? They are the ones who are giving you contracts. They are the ones who are bringing you money into they are paying your salaries. So you don't deal with stakeholders. You manage stakeholders. And how you manage stakeholders is relationship building one-on-one. Relationship building one-on-one, baby. It's that simple. You build a relationship, you maintain that relationship, you show them some value in you, they see some value in you, you show them how you are experienced, how you are going to get the work done, how you are going to help them reach their goals. That is it, baby. It ain't nothing more than this. That's it. That's how the game works. It's value driven business. All right. So Sweta Vemula, I hope I answered your question. Subhashini, as product owner is the voice of the customer, can I call myself Scrum Master? Yes. Subhashini, I give you a clap. Subhashini, you are a rock star. So what the fuck happened here? Hold on. So as the product owner is the voice of the customer, can I call myself as the voice of the team? Yes. Subhashini, you are a rock star. You know why? Because this is a very smart question. Scrum Master is the lawyer for the technical team. If you want to put a Scrum Master in a simple word, a Scrum Master is the lawyer of the technical team. Okay, so you are representing. So this is how this world works. Like let me explain to you. Let me go in depth today. Let me jump into depth in this agile world thing, right? So this is how this world works. Earlier there was waterfall model. In the waterfall model, the technical people, they didn't have jack shit. Let me be honest with you. Nobody cared about them. They're laborers. Get to work, soldier. That's it. That's how this was. The requirements came, technical team build. That's it. Now, in the agile world, what they are saying is that the technical team, they have a voice. Let's work with collaboration. Let's work together. Let's make the technical team more self-organizing. Let's let them have their own voice. Let them speak up. Let them build their own product. That is what agile is in a nutshell. Okay, and nobody will tell you this. I'm telling you this because I'm in the game. Agile is basically giving a voice to the technical team, the people that are actually doing the work in the tech world. The people that are actually doing the work in the tech world are the technical developers, the testers. These are the actual people. These are the actual laborers. These are the actual people building things with their own hard hands, right? So the agile is saying that we have to give a voice to these people. These people are also going to be self-organizing. They're going to build products. They will have a voice in the system. And that's where the role of a Scrum Master comes in. Scrum Master is saying, I'm going to represent these people, and I'm going to be a voice for them, and I'm going to make sure that they are collaborative, they're working together, they are happy, there is less turnover, because now suddenly people have realized the value of these people, the value of the technical team, and now suddenly their voice is being heard. They are becoming more valuable. So Scrum Master can be called a lawyer of the technical team. Very true words. Very true words. This is a perfect question. Okay. Monsieur Textiles, I really appreciate your in-depth answering. So if you're expected to pick up the Scrum Master role, is it okay to say, if you say, I would like to take the first month/2 sprints to observe what their current team process is? You can say that. You can say that. But 1 month is too damn long, man. 1 month is too damn long. I'm telling you right now, 1 month is too damn long. They would want you to pick up the slack in the first 2 weeks. 1 month is a very long time to observe things, man. 1 week, you observe. Second week, you're on the board, baby. Let's go. You're the captain of the ship now. You sink it, you do whatever. That's what's going to happen. 1 month is very long, man. Monsieur, I'm going to be serious with you. 1 month is very long. For a leadership role to observe in 1 month, it's a very long time. I think you have to be on board within the first week, second week almost. You have to start like showing initiative and showing charge and asking questions. One way you can do this is you can keep asking questions, and then when you are asking, at least show you are involved. If you are saying you need 1 month, at least show you are involved. Scrum Master, nice way to Scrum Master way to nice PPP loan. Scrum Master way too nice. PP. I think he's referring to people, process, product. Yeah, that's a nice way. Yeah, very nice. Yeah. So 1 month is very long. I miss your brother. 1 month is very long. You have to pick up the slack in the first, 2 weeks. It's a leadership role. You have to show initiative. Yes, thank you so much, Sweta. You're welcome. Subhashini, thank you, bro. Yes, you're welcome. You're so welcome, Subha. Nilufer Mandy. Can a Scrum Master be project manager on the same company? Yeah, why not? Scrum Master is basically a project manager also. But the only thing is that project manager is doing capacity planning, project manager is managing budget, project manager is sometimes also creating user stories and doing the role of the product owner also. So, so this is the thing, right? These roles are very broad and very different for each team. Each team can have different, roles. Now, let me tell you something. These roles are very different for each team. Some teams have project managers, scrum master, business analysts, product owners. Some teams have just one person, which is a scrum master. Some teams have one person, which is the product owner. Some teams have one person, which is a product owner, or business analyst, right? So these roles are very different for each team. Each team defines their own, own work for themselves and goes along that way. Okay. If you guys have more questions, click that, drop them in the chat below. The scrum master need to have technical skills. Shweta Vamula. Yes. Let me tell you something. You guys are gonna hate me for it. Hate me for it. When you are managing someone, right? Let me ask you questions. Let me ask you a question. So when I am managing a tech, and when I'm managing a team, right? Let's say I'm managing a team that's building a wall. Okay, they need to build a wall. They need to put bricks. They need to know what material is going into the bricks, and I'm the person managing them, making sure they are doing the right thing. They're building a wall. Instead of the bricks, they are using cookie candy. How do I know? I'm just managing them, right? So you don't need to know technical skills of what they are you doing, but you need to know technical skills of what they use, what they are building, what tools they use. You don't need to be like in the sand with them. You don't need to be knowing like the nitty gritty, like the deep technical skills, but you need to understand what they are building, what they are doing, what tools they are using, how they are doing their testing, how their testing framework is built, how can you automate the testing framework to increase velocity, to improve the efficiency of the team, because if you know the technical skills that they are using, you will be able to help the team become more efficient. First of all, you need to understand one thing and one thing only. The scrum master role is solely purpose of the scrum master role is to implement the scrum process. Why do we implement the scrum process? The sole purpose we are implementing the scrum process is to build a self-organizing efficient team that does the most amount of work in the short amount of time with the least employee turnover. So it's all about money, baby. It's all about money, right? You have to build a very self-organizing team that builds the biggest, better product in the short amount of time, so that you are saving on the capacity, employee labor, this. You have to build the best product in the shortest amount of time that gives you the maximum return on investment. That's what a scrum master is there for. And less employee turnover, because employee turnover, when people leave the technical team and a new people has to be brought on board, it's very expensive, very, very expensive. So that's the role of the scrum master, to build a team environment where the technical team is working together with each other, building a great product in the shortest amount of time. And the scrum master's role is basically there to make sure that happens. So does for making sure that that happens, to build a happy team environment, do you need to be a technical person? No. But do you need to understand what they are doing? Do you need to understand what they are working on? Do you need to understand what tools they are using so that you can make them better? Yes, you need to understand that. You need to have understanding of that. You need to have an idea about it. So yeah, so you do need to have understanding of things. You don't need to be a technical person, but you need to have understanding of technical skills. It will make you more powerful in your role. Okay. How often do they have a scrum master do PM duty? Very often. Very, very often. Very often. It's very often. It's rare. It's rare to find a role where a scrum master is only conducting scrum ceremonies and going to sleep. It's very rare to find that. It is there in some roles, in more progressive organizations. It is there. Scrum master will come in, he or she will only do her duties like a scrum process and velocity chart and this and that, and that's it. Forget about everything else. But in a lot of companies, they want to utilize to your maximum value. They want to use you as much as they can. So they will give you some duties of sometimes project managers or product owners, or put it in a different team, help you manage 4 teams together. Those things are very common. All right. So those are all the questions that I have on my screen right now, guys. Hopefully, you guys got a lot of value out of this live stream. If you are watching this, you are lucky because you can use these. You can use these tips that other people are sleeping on, and you can do a lot of things with these powerful techniques. Okay. All right, guys. Now let me answer some of these questions, and we'll keep moving. Okay. If you have questions, drop them in the chat below. And I'll be happy to answer those questions. All right. So the next question comes from let's see, Ansari Mariama. What will be in the working agreement for Scrum Master for general? So for Scrum Master working agreement, or who working agreement for who? So the working agreement for product owner will contain certain things. Let me share my screen. Man, I don't know how to goddamn share my screen in this live thing. I wanted to share my screen with you guys so that I could show you what a working agreement looks like. But I don't know how to share my screen in this thing. I don't have access. So working agreement for product owner will contain certain things. For example, hey, there will be no scope creep. If scope creep is happening, something has to go out. If something is coming in, those kind of things. Hey, we will have like a locked in sprint and things like that. So working agreement is different for different roles. You have to be kind of creative with that. Ang Dan says thank you, ma'am, you're welcome. Okay, now the next question is from Rokin. You didn't give an example of the recent sprint planning. You only mentioned the values. You want me to give you an example of sprint planning, Rokin? You're complaining? I'm giving you value. You're complaining? Okay, let me give you an example. All right. So the sprint planning is basically how this is done. This is simple. In the sprint planning, all you have to do is you have a backlog. In the backlog, you have refined user stories, prioritized and ordered. Remember those two terms. Always remember these two terms: prioritized and ordered. The goal of a backlog refinement ceremony and the goal of a healthy backlog is to have these two things: prioritized and ordered. When everything is prioritized and ordered according to the priority, your work is done. All you have to do is pick them up and put them in the goddamn sprint. That's what a sprint planning is. What do you want me to give an example for? So, you can say that if you're asking in the interview, explain to me your sprint planning. In my team, we have sprint planning session. In the sprint planning session, we already have a healthy backlog. I make sure I sit down with the product owner and build a healthy backlog, which has been prioritized and ordered. Remember those two words: prioritized and ordered. It has already been prioritized and ordered. And I just pick them up and I just put them in the sprint, and we are ready to go, locked and loaded. All right. And then I make sure that nothing comes in the sprint when the sprint is working, and when the sprint is already started, there is no scope creep. And the second thing is, if the team is facing any impediments during the sprint, I make sure they get resolved, so the team doesn't get their work stopped during the sprint. So that's all you need to know, bro. Rokin. Chiogo number 4. What are some of the impediments that developers may have during a scrum? So impediments can be many. Impediments can be related to, for example, let's say you're working on an AWS migration, right? AWS server goes out. What are you going to do? Budget goes away. You don't have the budget for a certain project in the middle of the project. What are you going to do? So impediments can be many: infrastructure related impediments, budget related impediments, skill related impediment. Let's say you were working on a certain skill, that skill goes to vacation. What are you going to do? So impediments can be many. Some of the other impediments that can be there is like, you have an impediment because you are waiting on certain person to do something, and from other team, from other like release train or something, and that person decided not to do it. What are you going to do? So that's how you do it. But some of the those are the impediments you might face. Okay, Radhika, I have one more question. What are the challenges a new Scrum Master might face in the role? Radhika, that's a very good question. Now, let me tell you this way. The biggest challenge any Scrum Master in any company will face is tough people. It's a people-based business. It's a relationship-based business. As a Scrum Master, you are not expected to come on there and build Taj Mahal. You are not expected to come on there and start developing and coding. You cannot do development and coding. You cannot do testing. The only role you have is people management. You are a leader for the people. Some in Agile world, servant leader, whatever makes you happy. Okay, you call it whatever makes you happy. You are a leader for the people, for the Scrum team. When you are a leader for the Scrum team, the only thing you have to do is manage people properly through the Scrum empirical process. So the toughest challenge you will face is managing people, managing tough people. that don't like you because of certain reasons, that don't want to work with you because of certain reasons, they want to give you a hard time because of certain reasons, that have an ego problem because they think a scrum master is not a technical role, and they don't like you in the team because you are not a technical person because of certain reasons. Those are going to be your toughest challenges that you will face. Now, if they're in a technical team, that's one thing. You can, it's not that hard. But if they're in the management or the people you are reporting to, you know, it can be very tough. The biggest challenge any scrum master will ever face in any role is people. It's a people based business. So you have to be nice. You have to be, your demeanor has to be strict towards the team and towards the work and towards the goals. But you also have to realize that you also have to have the emotional intelligence to realize that it's not just the team that you have to manage. You have to manage the development. You have to manage the, with other teams, you have to manage the senior management. You have to manage the product owner. So that skill of relationship building and that emotional intelligence all around will make you a very strong scrum master. And that's why I keep saying, have a verbal agreement, have a working agreement, where you lay these things down, have these things in place, which makes you more powerful, because it is a leadership role. Don't mistake it for anything other than that. You are a scrum master, is a leader. There is nothing more, nothing less. It's that simple. So those are the challenges you will face, is with people. If you can handle people above you, below you, hear you, you're good. If you have a problem with people, working with people, building relationships with people, you are an introvert, this, that, maybe something else is good for you. So other person is saying, what does Scrum Master talk with stakeholders about? Yeah, Scrum Master talks with stakeholders about what did you have for dinner? How much tequila did you drink last night? God damn it. What are you going to talk with stakeholders? Stakeholders are a business people. They are business people. They provide you bread and butter. Okay, what are you going to talk with stakeholders? Should I ask every time about expectations? No, don't ask anything about anything. The business representative in the team, which is the product owner or the business analyst, will talk to the stakeholders. You as a Scrum Master, you make sure your technical team is good, and you make sure that your technical team is doing all the sprint goal that they're supposed to be doing. And if you can showcase to the stakeholders, they will understand your value. So you don't directly deal with the stakeholders in a lot of the cases. Sometimes you might have to, but not the other time. Okay, is communication not P or PM? Yes, you got it. Why should we ask stakeholders the same question so often? Which question are you asking, man? Be more clear. But that's good. That's good, because the thing is that if you want to understand the stakeholder, you watch this live video before you scroll it back and you watch it, you will understand it. Agile core. So Scrum Master doesn't need to speak with stakeholders. Oh my God, this person is asking the same question in 3 or 4 videos. Scrum Master doesn't need to speak with stakeholder. No. You need to speak with stakeholders only if the contract allows it. If you have a business representative like a product owner or like a business analyst or someone who's representing the business, then you don't need to speak with the stakeholder. Watch this video before. You will understand it. Manik Bora. I have query about the reports Scrum Master prepares, like burn down, burn up, apart from these. Any other report that Scrum Master prepared? If yes, please shed some light on the same. Thanks. Okay. Yeah. Scrum Master prepares the burn down. Scrum Master doesn't prepare anything. It's already there. It's already prepared. In Azure DevOps, it's already there. In Jira, it's already there. You just have to make sure they're compiled into a sprint report. And Jira already does it for you. If you go to Jira and you go to like reports, you click on reports, you will see, epic report, burn down report, version report, burn down chart. You will see velocity chart. You will see sprint report at the 6th number in reports in Jira. The 6th number is the sprint report. Sprint report will contain your burn down chart. It will contain your velocity chart. It will contain all the stories that you have completed, all the bugs you have done. And so those are some of the things that you can show to your management and people above you, kind of show them, hey, how the team is performing. And the velocity, generally, when you join the team, your goal is to kind of increase the velocity, making the team more efficient. And you have to make sure that you're completing more work in the smaller amount of time. That is one measure of your success. The other measure is how many bugs are coming in the work the team is doing. How many bugs are coming? So you have to make sure less bugs are coming in over time, and the number of bugs is less and less. Okay, so that's how you will show like you are a good Scrum Master basically to the team. And the other way is that you have to have like pair programming exercises, like a cross-functional team, things like that. You have to do as a Scrum Master. Okay, what about who's this person? Uda Ofonogore. What about new Scrum Master role with little experience? Yeah, so a new Scrum Master role with little experience is, it's not a big deal. I mean, it's not a big deal. If you are a new Scrum Master with little experience, just understand the basics. The understand the basics is that, you are in a leadership role. You are expected to perform leadership duties. And within your first week, your first month, you are expected to perform on the job. You have to do the job properly. You have to take charge. You have to take leadership, right? And just understand that you are there to provide value to the business. Everything is about money. Everything runs from providing value to the business. How you do it is through the Scrum empirical process. So you have the Scrum empirical process as your tool to manage people, to manage the process. There are three things. I keep saying this. There are three things. The creative to slow down. Yeah, I need to slow down. I need to chill a little bit. Right? There are three things that make up a company: people, process, and product. The people and the process are managed by the Scrum Master. The product is managed by the product owner. There are three things that make up a company. Let me repeat to you again: PPP, people, process, product. People and the process are managed by the Scrum Master. The product is managed by the product owner. Let me repeat that again: people, process, product. So if you are managing the people, you're managing the process, not just managing the people and the process. You are improving the people, you're reducing the amount of turnover that the team is having, and you're improving the process. You are a great Scrum Master. How you will showcase you are improving the process is through burn down chart, velocity chart, sprint report, all these things. You can showcase and you can show that you are improving the process. The process is getting better. You're building better product with the shortest amount of time. You're having less and less bugs in your code with your team members because you're doing pair programming exercises where they're getting opportunity to learn. In the retrospective, they're coming together, they're discussing things, and they're getting opportunity to improve. People and process, two things. If you can do the two things great, you are great. All right, let me go to the other person. Yeah, his name is Willie Nelson. Willie boy, my first objection is stay humbled and open to other people. That is one of my best qualities of the leader I saw in your video. I am a senior project manager and agile coach. I see that you want to help people, but you need to humble yourself first. That might, Willie boy, I'm humble, baby. I'm humble. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do, Willie? I'm humble, man. Come on, god damn it. I ain't got time for that. I'm humble. I'm helping people. What else do you want me to do? I can sit in my $1.5 million house. I drive cars for $150,000. Do you think I need it? I'm humble, man. What do you want me to do? I'm helping. Because I see people getting scammed. There are people in my mentorship group right now that got scammed by two YouTubers. And I'm not going to name any names. I'm not going to say anything. People are scamming people out here, man, in the name of Scrum, in the name of technology. Let me tell you something. You want to become a Scrum Master? Let me give you a simple, straight formula. You want to become a Scrum Master, you don't have any experience. Let me tell you how I would do it if I was in your shoes. Okay, you are here in the live stream, you want to get value. Let me give you straight up. It's a simple thing. Understand the process. Understand how the Scrum world functions. Understand how Scrum is implemented. Understand these things: basic Scrum ceremonies, backlog refinement, product owner, Scrum Master. Understand these things. Once you understand these things, you have a basic understanding. Jira. Understand Jira. Pay someone to learn Jira. Pay me to learn Jira. I'll teach you Jira. Once you understand Jira, everything will start making sense to you. The whole process, the whole things will start making sense to you. They will start coming together. The Jira process, the Scrum Master process, everything comes together. Once you are at that level where you can understand the Scrum process, you can understand Jira. Now, what you will do next? Next, you will do is start watching interview videos from my channel and from Career Stock. Career Stock is another channel on YouTube. Is a real dude. Is a real dude. It's my competitor. I shouldn't be recommending him to you, but it's a real dude. Watch his videos, his interview videos. Watch those videos. Watch my videos, my interview videos. I try to give as much value as I can without holding back. Watch these videos. That now you know two things. Now you know the Scrum process. Now you know Jira. Now you know the interview process. You're ready. What else do you want? Now you start interviewing. It might take you 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 1 year to get a job, but you got everything you need. You don't need anything else. You don't need to pay to a lady $1,500 to learn Scrum. They're scamming you, man. They're scamming you. These guys are scammers. They are not actual people. Let me tell you a funny story. I had a girl in my group, in my mentorship group. I had a girl join my mentorship group. She's from Nigeria. Very nice girl, very wonderful, wonderful person. Very smart person. The girl joined my mentorship group. So I teach her. She gets a job. She gets a job within like the first month. She gets a job. Very smart girl, man. Very smart girl. She gets a job, and the person who interviewed her, his name is Siddharth. He's one of my friends. He's a very big person in one of the most of the big people. They are, from my community, and I know a lot of them. So she gets the job, she lands the job. The person interviews her. I tell her what to say, what to do, how to manipulate the different things. I tell her what to do. Right? She's in my group, so she gets the job. She was working as a salesperson before. I'm not going to say which company. I'm not going to say her name, but she was from Nigeria. She was working as a salesperson before she joined my mentorship group. The day she got the job, next week from that, she posted in profile Agile coach, and she's taking students. God damn it, you started working. This is 1 week you started working, and you are trying to scam people. Well, yeah, other girls from my country are also doing this. They're making a lot of money. They don't do work. They just, teach people how to become Scrum Master. They have never worked in their life. They're just scamming people. Guys, be careful who you give $2,000, $3,000 hard-earned money when you are starting in the process, right? Be careful. Everything is out there. You just have to learn it. Okay, be careful with these people. These people don't have actual knowledge. And you know how I can tell? Because let me give an example. You live in let's say you live in a country, right? Let's say you live in London. When you live in London, you can tell if a person has lived in London or not, because they have a certain accent in their language. When you are working in the tech world, in the business world, you have a language that you speak. You can tell from the language whether that person is from your world or not. These people that are on here, that are calling themselves doctors and this and that bullshit, these people are scammers. Their business is taking your money and making themselves richer. Their business is not to make you Scrum Masters. If they tell you clearly on their YouTube channel, they come live and they speak like I'm speaking right now, they won't have a business. They won't have a business anymore if they start doing these things. But their business is to take money from you. That's what they do all day. They're not working as agile coaches or doctors. They're working as scammers, scamming money from you. You pay them $1,500, $2,000, $3,000, $7,000. You pay them all this money to become Scrum Masters, and after 2 years, you're still kicking rocks. You're begging people like me, hey, hey, make me in your mentorship. Give get me a job, get me them dollars. These people are charging $7,000 from you, and you're coming to me and you're saying, hey, can you do a discount? I've been scammed. Look at, these are my receipts I paid to this lady. I can't help you, man. I have to charge you $500, because if I do lower than that, you won't be serious in my class. I want serious people in my class. Okay, I guarantee you join my group, you will get a job. No, don't worry about it. You join my group, I'll teach you everything you need to know. I'll show you the way you'll get a job. Don't worry about it. I'll get you the job. But you have to be serious, man. You have to work hard. It's not easy. It's not easy. And I can only help so many people. Okay. These guys are out there scamming people, robbing people blindfolded. And these people, they are blue collar workers. They're working hard jobs. They're coming from my country, from Nigeria, all these countries, and they're working so hard. So before you give your money to somebody, anybody, do your background checks. Know where they are from. Know who they are. Before you do that, don't give anybody your money. Never give anybody your hard-earned money. Before you trust anybody that they will help you. If you don't have any money, email me. I won't put you in a mentorship program. I'm going to be fair, but I will show you the way. I'll tell you what to do, where to go. Okay. So don't give anybody your money. If you're listening to me, don't be a sheep. Okay. There are many scammers in this world. Be careful. All right. So those are all the questions I have. I'm going to go here and I'm going to start reading these chats. Does Scrum Master need to have technical skills? Yes, I answered that question. Great tips. Thank you. Thank you, Angdon. Monsieur, great tips. Thank you, brother. NGI Pastor. How does a Scrum Master who doesn't have any experience craft powerful and captivating? Tell me about your self-statement. Yes, good question. So I have this video on my channel as well if you want to watch that. But how do you craft a tell me about yourself powerful statement? Is you need to have three things. You need to have four things. Let me be clear. First, who are you? My name is Chetan. I've been working in this industry for a long time. My role as da 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 da. Then I moved on to da 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 da. Then I moved on to this role, and currently I'm working in this role. In my role at number one company, I was working as a business analyst. My goal was to collect requirements from the business, make sure they are formatted in a proper way, give them to the technical team to break them down into technical user stories. And that's how I did my first role. In my second role, I was working as a Scrum Master in a company where I was helping the teams through transformation. When we were going through transformation, I was mentoring and coaching the teams to make them understand the value of Scrum better. Second, My third job, where I'm currently working at, in my current role, I'm working with two teams. I'm helping the team understand the Scrum process, make sure they are reaching their sprint goal on a daily basis. We have our daily stand up, we have our this ceremony, and I'm doing all those ceremonies. This is what I'm doing on a daily basis, and this is a little bit about me. This is a perfect answer that you will give in the first 3 minutes when you are saying, "Tell me about yourself." Okay. All right. And you can watch the video on my YouTube channel also if you want to learn about it. Mr. Pastor, thank you. Angdan, turn your camera around. It's a computer, or use your cell phone camera. It's a computer. I can't do it. My cell phone, I don't know. If I start doing my cell phone thing, I don't know. Miss Ang, thank you. The creative fam joy. Slow down a little bit. All right, baby. Sweta Vemula, what kind of retrospective that you have used to improve your team performance? What can we answer for this? Yeah. So this is the thing, right? When you are answering questions about your retrospective, you can say that, hey, in my team, we didn't have a retrospective. I came in, I implemented the retrospective, and that's how we improved our team performance. In my retrospective, what we implemented in my last retrospective was that, the product owner was not present during the daily stand-up meetings. And what I did was I joined the team, and I made sure the team came up with a discussion that we need to have the product owner more often during the daily stand-up. So we were able to, get that done. And that's how you will answer this question. Sweta? Subhashini, yes. Appreciate your magnanimity. You acknowledge the other competitor, you YouTuber. Yes, I do. If someone is actually good, you have to mention good. You have to be fair to people. You cannot be unfair in this world. This is the thing. This is how this world works, right? If you guys are new to America, if you guys are from India, from Nigeria, from Africa, you guys are from my part of the world. You guys are new to this country, right? This is how this country works, right? This is how this country basically works. In this country, the only way to win, the only way to become rich, become wealthy, become successful is to give value. When you give actual value in real terms, you will always win. You don't need to be worried about any competition. If I have a pizza shop here and I'm giving so good pizza, you can open a pizza shop right in front of my shop. I don't care what you goddamn do. I don't care. My pizza is so good that people will come to me. If I have value in me, people will come to me. I don't need to be worried about what you do in your house or in your pizza shop. I have value. That's how you win this company in country. Simple things. You provide value, people will come to you. You don't have value, people will kick you in the ass. It's that simple. Do you know how to list? Do you know how to list some sort of Scrum experience on your resume to land a Scrum job? Do you know have to list? Yeah. So as I was explaining before, Paris 05. As I was explaining before, Scrum Master is a leadership role. You are managing a Scrum team. You are the leader of a Scrum team. In the Agile world, you want to call it servant leader, you want to call it a parrot, you want to call it a pigeon, you call whatever makes you happy. But a Scrum Master is a leadership role. So when you are posting on your resume, you have to understand this, that you are going to be managing a multi-million, 20 million, $30 million project. If you are managing a $30 million project, you cannot be a duck out of the street and you start managing the project, right? You have to know things. So on your resume, think of it like this, right? On your resume, you have to mention things that show that you have experience managing all these expensive projects, experience managing all these expensive things, all these expensive teams, and making them better. So if you can showcase this on your resume that you have experience managing teams and making them better over time, who cares? How you do it, it's your problem. If you need my help, you let me know. If you do it, it's your problem. But if you can do that, you're good. If you cannot do that, don't expect to become a leader of a multi-million-dollar team. Daniel Bangura, he's speaking facts. Thank you, brother. Angdan, message retracted. Okay. Angi Pastor, guys, hit the like button. Thank you, Mr. Pastor. I appreciate you. Angdan, how can someone join your mentorship program? And go to my videos, click on the link under the videos. There will be a link that says Calendly link. It's $4.99. Join that mentorship program. You will be in a group. In the group, we will do interviews every week. We will, teach you all the skill things that you need to know. Angi Pastor, thank you, brother. The creative fam joy, how have you helped your Scrum team resolve impediments? So how you have help your Scrum team resolve impediments is by basically being on top of things. As soon as the impediments come in, you being on top, you get them resolved. How you get them resolved is by basically having the daily stand-up. So so this is the thing. Imagine there is a tree. The tree has a branch, the stem. The stem is from where everything emerges. The stem are the Scrum ceremonies, the Scrum process. So whenever someone asks you a question that you're confused about in an interview, always remember the tree. The tree has a stem. The stem is the Scrum empirical process. What is the Scrum empirical process? Daily stand up, sprint planning, sprint retro, sprint demo. So when you are asking me, hey, how did you resolve impediments? We have a daily stand up every day. If an impediments come in, the team communicates them in the daily stand up. And once the team communicates them, me as a Scrum Master, I reach out to the team in the other team where the impediment is coming from, or if it's an infrastructure related impediment, I reach out to the people to resolve that infrastructure related impediment. And if the impediment is big and it's blocking your progress to reach your sprint goal, you have to communicate that with your management, with your stakeholders. Just make sure you do that. Just make sure you do that communication, and that something is blocking you, and then you have to communicate with people where that impediment is going to get resolved from. Okay. And the impediments can be many. As I said in the beginning of the video, watch the video again. Impediments can be many. They can be infrastructure related, budget related, skill related. They can be many. All right. The creative fam joy. How do you get your remote Scrum team engaged as a Scrum Master? So the thing is this, right? If you want someone engaged, like I was mentioning, right? In my mentorship program, I charge $499. Other people are charging $7,000. I can do this for free because I love teaching. I love this thing. I love this thing. But the thing is that if I do this for free, people will not feel involved because they don't have skin in the game. So how do you make sure that someone is engaged? They need to have skin in the game. Now your Scrum team, how you will make sure that they are engaged in the process is by them having skin in the game. How do you make sure they have skin in the game? Is very simple. During the sprint planning process, when you are picking up user stories and putting them into the sprint, ask someone in your technical team, what story should we put in? When they are choosing the work for themselves in the sprint planning process, let them choose their own work. That way they will feel they have skin in the game. Okay. These are the things that you can get them to be more engaged. Show them every day the sprint goal. Hey guys, after the stand up, hey guys, this is our sprint goal for the sprint. Let's make sure we are doing good. This person is doing good, that person is doing good. Let's make sure we keep on this track. Motivate them every day. When they feel these kind of things coming from you as a leader, observing them, watching them, motivating them, being there for them, giving them the opportunity to pick up their own stories, you make sure that they have skin in the game. When they have skin in the game, you don't need to do a lot. They will automatically be motivated. That's how you do it, the creative fam joy. Paris Sofa, how do answer this question? What's the scope of projects your teams have worked on as a Scrum Master? So the scope of projects, basically they're asking you what kind of projects you have worked on. What kind of work do you have in your project? So you can say, hey, I have worked on migration process. I have worked on what else? I have worked on transformation processes where the teams were going from transformation. They were migrating things from the legacy to to the new platforms. I have worked on bug defect fixes, where the teams were fixing bugs and managing technical debts. You can say many things. You have to understand that whatever scope you say. Let's say if I'm interviewing you and I'm asking you what kind of project you've worked, I'm sweating like a damn person, but it's okay. So if I'm asking you what kind of scope you have worked on, you have to know what you're saying, because once you explain to me that you have worked on a migration project from migrating things from a legacy platform to a new platform, I can ask you, what platform was that? Now you're stuck like a damn duck, right? So you have to, when you are explaining to me the projects that your team has worked on, say the things that you can explain in depth. You have to be able to explain your project in depth. Okay, that will set you apart from the other competitors who are interviewing also. So say the things that will set you apart, basically. Okay. And let me know if that answers your question, Paris 05. How long does your mentorship last? My mentorship is generally, see, I try to wrap it up in like 1 month. And after 1 month, we are just doing interviews. We are applying for jobs. We are doing interviews, like live interviews with other teams. I'm helping you with sending your resume out to other recruiters and things like that. So my mentorship is only a month. After 1 month, it's just like the job search process. And generally that takes only about 15-20 days for good candidates. How do you conduct your sprint review using Jira? I am new to Scrum. So the sprint review, you don't use Jira mostly. All you have to do Jira is showcase what you have done. what you have actually done in terms of user stories. In the sprint review, you will be actually showing the product that you have built, the viable product, the minimum viable product, the iteration that you have built. For example, if I'm building a website that's called da-da-da-da.com, so I'm going to show the website da-da-da-da.com. I'm not going to show my sprint review. The only reason I'm going to show sprint review is to show my user stories. I'm not going to show my stories and what I'm doing, what my velocity is doing the sprint review to the business. The business doesn't care what I'm doing. The business only cares what value you have delivered to them. Do you understand this question? The sprint review is not for you showcasing your performance as a scrum master or your team's performance. The sprint review is for showcasing what you have built for the business that they can take to the market and start making money. Kate Queen, please, do you approach a situation where the scrum team doesn't want to get involved in the scrum process? Every day, baby, every day, every damn day. And you have to be tough. You have to have that relationship management as I said in the beginning of the video, you have to control your emotions a lot. You have to be able to manage and control your emotions and be patient. Things take time. Building mature teams sometimes take years, but you have to be patient. And if you can do that, you are worth your weight in gold. So now, if the team doesn't want to get involved in the process, if the whole team doesn't want to get involved in the process, you might need to have involvement from the management. You might need to get the management involved and explain to them, hey, this is what's going on and this and this and this. If they don't want to be involved, sit at home, collect your paycheck, do whatever you can, just chill, baby. Nobody wants to follow the scrum process, go to hell. Who cares? You're getting your paycheck, right? So the thing is that if you want to implement scrum process in a team, there has to be a buy-in either from the management or from the scrum team or some members in the scrum team. If you can give me a scrum team that has 9 members and 2 people are only want to follow the scrum process, 7 people don't want, I can make that team jump up and down in 1 year. Give me that team, I'll make them jump up and down while hearing the name of the scrum. So it's all relationship based business. If the team doesn't want to be scrum focused, if the management doesn't want to be scrum focused, just collect your paycheck as long as you can, do whatever you can, and that's it. It's that simple. And if the scrum team doesn't want, the management wants, then you have to get the management involved. Make sure that they show their weight in the daily stand-up meetings. They are present there to show them the weight of the importance of this process, and that's how you slowly get them involved. And call people out sometimes in front of everyone. You have to do whatever it takes, basically. You have to be smart. You're a leader, so you have to be smart. The basic job is you have to make them follow the process. You have to get the job done. Whatever you do, it's your call in that case. This is a bad situation, basically. So that's what I would do. Io Dimezi John, well done job. Thank you, sir. I so much appreciate your effort. Thank you, sir. My question is, which of the 2 certification would you recommend, PSM or CSM for a beginner? Thank you. The thing is that for certification, see, I don't have a very good relationship with the certifications. The thing is that because they charge a lot of money. It's like someone putting a gun to your head and they're saying, hey, get this certification or you won't get a job. I don't like those kind of things. So for people in my mentorship program, they ask me about certification. I'm like, hey, just crack the goddamn interview. Nobody cares what certification you got. If you can crack the interview, I mean, that's all there is, honestly. But if you want to go for certification, I'm not a big fan of them, but if you want to go, you can go for CSM. I think CSM is much better than PSM. PSM, a lot of people don't care about it. CSM is the better one. And then after CSM, go for SSM. SSM is Safe 5.1 Scrum Master. And you can go for those 2. I think those will be great. But you don't need a certification in the beginning. In the beginning, all you need to know is you have to be ready to do a great interview. If you do a great interview, you get the job, the company will pay for the certification. That's the way I have been helping my candidates. All the candidates that have gotten jobs from me, they are basically asking the company to pay for them. And sometimes the company doesn't pay. So I just tell them, hey, just don't worry. Just do your job. Don't worry about it. What's an average velocity for a team with a 2-week cadence if there are 4 developers and 2 QAs? 27 to 29. 27 to 29 will be it will be somewhere right there. 27, 30, 32, 28, 26, it'll be like that for 4 developers and 2 QAs. Yeah, I manage a lot of those, baby. All right, the Creative Fam Joy, you're doing a great job, coach, and much appreciated. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Paris 05, yes, you answered the question. Thank you so much. Paris 05, what's an SM role during the sprint demo? During the sprint demo, basically what you are doing is your main role should be to make sure that the feedback that the business is giving or the business representative is giving, you are collecting that feedback and you're making sure it gets logged in the backlog. So now one more interview question that came to my mind just now. Let's say the interviewer asks you, hey, you are sitting in a sprint demo session and the stakeholder is acting tough and they are saying, hey, the sprint, hey, I want an aeroplane. You built me you built me a Honda. I don't want a Honda. I want an aeroplane. What do you give me? What's going on? That's where you show that the thing that I mentioned in the beginning of the sprint, in the beginning of the call today, the signed paper. After you build the technical user stories, you go back to the stakeholder, hey, sign right here. Do you agree with these things that you're building? Get them to sign that. Once they sign that, you have a signed document that now you can showcase during the sprint demo. When they start acting tough, now you can showcase, hello, Mr. Stakeholder, this is what you said during that process. Is there something we're missing? Because I know you signed this document at that time and we agreed on it. Now what's wrong going on? What's wrong with this? So you can ask that question. So during the sprint demo, you're collecting feedback. You're making sure that whatever feedback they're giving, if it's legit, you log that in the backlog. Or if you don't do it, product owner does it, that's fine. Whoever wants to do it, you guys decide between yourself. Or if they are going back and forth, you are a facilitator. You have to facilitate. If they are pinpointing someone in the technical team, sometimes that happens. They might not like certain person in the technical team. If they are pinpointing particular person in the technical team, you have to make sure that things stay civil, discussion is civil, because you are a facilitator and you have to kind of be present and make sure that things are going according to process. So it's basically, sprint demo is basically like, whatever you built, you're showcasing it to the stakeholders. Not on the sprint, not on the Jira board, but on the live website in prod. Okay. In prod, that's what we call in prod. Okay. The creative fam joy, please give the host a big thumbs up. Thank you, baby. Sweta Vemula, how can we manage technical depths as Scrum Masters? So this is the thing, right? Managing technical debt is super important, because managing technical debt is kind of like managing like house debt. If it piles up a lot, it can break your whole program. So managing technical debt, generally what I do is that 20% of my capacity is always for my team's capacity is always reserved for managing technical debt, and is always reserved for managing bugs or any other things that might, like learning, like pair programming exercises. We do that also. So 20% of my team's capacity is always reserved. We are only taking capacity for 80% of the work. 20% is always empty. We will manage technical debt there. We will manage, bugs there. We will manage pair programming exercises there. We will manage, hackathons, all these things that are team building exercises. We can do them there. So that's what I do generally in my sprint, and then, you can take like two, three tickets for technical debt and just, knock them out. And if you face a resistance from the product owner, which happens very commonly, if you do that, if you face that, working agreement. You have to have this in the next iteration of working agreement. As I said, working agreements have to change every month because the relationship dynamics change every month. So in the next iteration of the working agreement, you add this thing. Hey, we will manage our technical debt from here on out. Okay. You have to understand, product owner. You with me? You with me, baby? Okay, let's go. That's how you have to do it, Shweta. Kid Queen. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Bhavna Bajpayee, so powerful. Thank you, Bhavna. Creative Fam Joy. How can a Scrum Master help the PO to keep the product or backlog healthy? Very good question. So basically, first of all, answer to me this. What is a healthy product backlog? I said two things in the beginning of this call: prioritization and ordering. Prioritization and ordering. That is a healthy product backlog. If you have these two things, prioritized and ordered product backlog is a healthy product backlog. How will you help the product owner to keep the product backlog healthy? Is make sure that he or she has a product prioritized and ordered product backlog for the next 6 or 7 sprints, or the next 3 months, or the next PI, or the whole PI, right? So that is how you maintain a healthy product backlog as a Scrum Master, or help the PO maintain a healthy product backlog. So that's how you do it. Scrum Master either sail or sink with the ship. Yeah, exactly, baby. It's not one person. So it's not one person. It's the whole team. You either win or you lose. The whole team together. What if people, team members, PO or stakeholders resist signing in working agreement? That's fine. That's fine. It can happen. No problem. Just have a verbal agreement. Just during the stand up, during one of the retrospectives, hey guys, so I have, from the product owner as a scrum master, this is my expectation. I expect the product owner, to make sure we don't have scope creep, we don't have this. It'll take 2 minutes. Hey guys, from the technical team, this is my expectation. I expect the technical team to make sure that they are present during the daily stand up, following all the scrum process, make sure they are not over inflating the estimation, when they are estimating stories, planning poker exercise, they are not giving something 20 story points while it's only like 2 story points, things like that. So you need to detail that out in the working agreement, for the team members, for the product owners and the stakeholders. So you need to do that. Resist signing in working agreement. I think that answers your question, right, Subhashini? What if people resist? Yeah, that's what you do. You don't have to get them signed. If they don't want to sign, just do a verbal thing every retrospective. Just keep reminding them over and over. All right, guys. No more questions. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining. 21 people watching. Great. I'm glad you guys are watching, because whatever I shared in this video, if you implement it, if you are a new person, you can do a lot with it. It's very powerful information. I think so. So, thank you guys for joining. Don't get scammed, guys. Be careful with your hard earned money. Be justifiable, be able to background check everyone who you are giving your money to. If it doesn't add up, if things don't add up, don't just go and give everyone your money because they say the right things or they look the right way and things like that, guys. you know People are selfish creatures, and most of the time they're only thinking about their bank account. They're not thinking about your success. And that's why they are charging you all these high amounts. Actually, you won't believe it. A lot of these people that are acting as YouTube agile coaches, and these people that are teaching skills on YouTube, for selling you guys, they don't have a job. They have never worked in this industry. They have never worked a day in this industry. And I can tell because this is what I do on a daily basis. So be careful, guys. Be careful who you give your money to. I, who you give your money to is your problem. But I'm just telling you guys, there's a lot of scammers out there. Lot of scammers, guys. If there is like 10 good people, there is 100 bad people on this YouTube game. Let me tell you straight up. The only guy that I would recommend is Career Talk. Career Talk is a very good channel. If you want to watch my channel, great. You want to do it because if I have questions, I go to Career Talk channel. That's why I'm telling you guys. So that's a channel I learn a lot from. This Collins, yeah. Link to join your mentorship class, and I want to be proficient in Jira. For Jira classes, I charge $249. You can email me if you want a Jira class. My email is I have put my email on my that thing also, but I can put my email over here too. For Jira, I don't generally do like separate classes. You can just email me. You can pay the $249, and we can do like 3 classes for you, and I can teach you everything that you need to know. Create a project, create sprints, everything that you need to know on Jira. Yep. Don't go yet. I have one more question. Yes, Creative Fam Joy. Let's go, baby. What you got? All right. Subhashini. Yep. Yes. NGI Pastor. I really appreciate the session. I'm going to join your mentorship group. Thank you, Mr. Pastor. I appreciate you. Angdan. Wow. Thanks. I learned a lot in this live session. Miss Angdan, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Akaniru Eden. Spell the channel. Which channel? Which channel you want me to spell? My channel? AGILECORE. Which channel do you want me to spell? Career Stock? Career Stock is this one, man. He's my competition. I'm giving him subscribers. God damn it. But that's fine. Yeah, it's a good channel. You learn a lot from that channel. It's so you have to be able to sort through. He has a lot of high level information, high level for people who are very experienced in the industry. For beginners also, he has some information. He has some good information. But you have to be, very, you have to sort through it, kind of thing. You learn a lot from that channel. I'm telling you honestly. All right. The Creative Fam Joy. Tell me about a project you have managed. How do you answer that, as you have never really had a project to manage? Yes. Very good question. So tell me about a project you have managed. So how I will answer this question is that, the type of project that I have managed in the past is, it can be something like you can make it up. Hey, generally you said you could recommend. I already wrote it. So for example, the project that I managed, they were going through, they were going through like a migration from on-prem cloud to AWS cloud or to Azure cloud. And they were going through that migration, and I was basically managing that migration. And my role as a scrum master was that, the platform team that was building the platform data. So basically, this is how it works. Let me give you an example, right? This is a project you can use in your interview session as well. In migration, basically there are things that are being migrated from on-site platform. On-site platform will have certain tables, certain data structures, and one team will be here that is doing the migration. One team will be here that is building the same on-site platforms on the cloud. The team that is building the platforms on the cloud, you can say, hey, I was working with a team that was building the platforms on the cloud. It's called a platform team. And basically we were building all the data tables and everything that was needed from here before we were migrating things. And I was helping with the migration effort, and that effort went on for 3 years. That's a simple thing you can say. The other thing you can say is that, in my second project, we were building a kind of like a marketplace where people can come in and they can buy products. And we were building basically kind of a e-commerce platform. And my goal, once we built it, my goal was to make sure that it's managed properly, and customer data is managed properly, and security rules are managed properly. And I was working as a scrum master for the team that was doing all this work. Now, the data project that I just told you, you can use it in a safe environment as well. That we had multiple release trains. I was working in a release train. The release train has 7 teams. I was part of the same and safe environment, and was managing one team. And you can say those kind of things. So this is how it works. And safe is knowing the knowledge of safe is very helpful nowadays. Safe is very important. Channel, you said you could recommend. Check career stock. All right, who's texting me? Hold on. As you mentioned about your interview. All right. All right, guys. So that's it, guys. If you have any more questions, let me know in the chat. All right. That's it, guys. That's it. And if you are going to that channel, Career Stock, he's a good guy, but I don't talk to him. I don't talk to him. We are not on a good thing. We are competitors. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you guys have a wonderful week and you guys learned a lot. And don't get scammed. Good luck with everything. It is possible. Let me tell you guys something. One last thing before I go. One last thing. Those of you guys that are demotivated, that are thinking that a Scrum Master role you will not be able to get it, things like that, don't be demotivated. The future needs Scrum Masters. In this country, in the world, there will always be a need for a good leader. A good leader who knows what he's doing, who knows he or she, can be a woman, can be a man. A lot of the people in my group are women. A good lead. And let me tell you something, tech world is full of women. If you are a woman, this is your century. In this country, you are worth gold. You need to work less harder than men. You need to show up. All you need to do is just goddamn show up, and you will achieve so much more than men. So if you are a woman, you are lucky. And tech world is mostly made up of women nowadays. Men are only in the development and like all these kind of roles. But if you are a woman and you are a leader, you are worth your weight in gold in this world. Nobody will tell you that. I'm telling you right now. So if you are a leader in yourself, in your household, you manage your family, you manage your kids, you manage your family, right? If you are a leader, if you can be a successful leader in your household, you can be a successful leader anywhere. So there is always a need in this world for leaders, for good people with good hearts, who can fight off, who can build good teams, who can provide value to the businesses, who can provide value and create good things in the world. And all these scammers that are scamming people, help them. Not for me, not for anyone else. If you're learning from this, start your own YouTube channel, create your own, become agile coach in your own self, and help your own people from your place, wherever you are from, England, Africa, India, wherever you are from. Help your own people so that these scammers don't get to those people and scam them out of their money, calling themselves agile coaches, doctors, this and that. So there is always a need for good people, good leaders. There will always be a need for them. Always, 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 no matter what happens in this world. So if you are a good leader of your family, of your household, this is the role for you. Scrum Master role is only going to be increasing in demand. The agile process is just in the beginning phases in this world. Even today, a lot of the companies, they don't know about agile. They don't know about how to implement agile. Okay, so this agile thing is still new, and the Scrum Master role, the demand for the Scrum Master role will only increase from here on out. Just remember that. So never be demotivated if you are not getting a job, or if it's been so long you are not able to get a job. Don't be demotivated. there is a very high demand for good scrum masters in this world. You know why? Let me tell you something. Number one, the demand for scrum masters is increasing because companies want to make their team more productive. They want to get more out of their people. They want to hire less and less people, but the people that they hire, they want to squeeze them. They want to get more value out of them. Who can do that? Scrum master. How can they do that? They have the power of scrum empirical process. Always remember that. So a scrum master is always and will always be in demand for the upcoming 20 years, 30 years. If someone is telling you, oh, we don't need the scrum master role is this, scrum master will always be needed. Will always be a need for good leader in this tech world. Let me tell you that. So just remember that, right? And the thing is that if you are a good leader in your household, you can be yeah, you can be good as well. So there will always, so if you are demotivated, if you are down, if you are feeling like, hey, I'm not able to get this scrum master job, don't worry. Just keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing, keep learning, keep learning, keep learning, keep learning. you know Someday you will get it. If you don't give up, man, the only option is to win, right? It's that simple. And find the right mentors. If you can find the right people who can teach you, who can coach you, people like me, people like this career talk guy. The career talks guy, he doesn't do mentorship, he doesn't charge anything for anything. He's kind of like, like a saint, like he gives things for free. I'm not that good, but I charge $500. If you can find the right mentor, you can become very successful very fast. It's that simple. And it's very hard to find the good people in this world, man. The right mentors who are not worried about their money, who are worried about your success. There are no more people like that in this world today. It's very hard to find those people. And if you know such people, consider yourself lucky. All right. So I have more things here. Hope you are going to the channel you said you could recommend. Yes, Career Talk. His name is Sunand. Yeah. Hope you are going to keep this video. Yes, yes. Creative Fam Joy, I'll keep this video. Spell his name. I spelled his name already. Career Talk. I wish I could share my screen. If I could share my screen, I could show you guys so much. Coach, are you in the United States? Yes, yes, I'm in the United States. Creative Fam Joy. Paris 05. Thank you for this last tip. I have an interview tomorrow and I'm nervous. Don't be nervous, man. It's just part of the process. Just learn from the interview. Take notes what they're asking. Take notes what their project is like. In the interview, if you want to learn, right, let me give you a tip. In the interview, when they are asking you questions, try to learn about their project. Try to learn about the problems they're having. Not because you want to like impress them. Don't go with the mindset of impressing anybody. Go with the mindset of having a conversation and learning about them and learning about their project, and then use that information in your next interview to showcase that this is a project. You know what I'm saying, right? I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty, but collect as much. Treat an interview like an information collection session. Collect that information and use it in the next interview. That's what I'm going to tell you. Collect that information, learn from it, use it as a leverage in the next interview. And Dan, the other man that you said he's good. Man, I'm the only good man. Don't go to any other man. I'm the only good man. Come to me. Monsieur Textiles. Great live session, my brother. I really learned a lot as well. Love you, brother. Love you. As well, I connected a lot of dots. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, brother. Creative Fam Joy. Thanks for your encouragement. Thank you, baby. You got it, man. Just don't give up. This is a new age, and we need more leaders in this world. Good people. We need good people. Bhavna Bajpai. Thanks again. Thank you, Bhavna. And Dan, is it Career Talk? Yes, it's Career Talk. Creative Firm Joy. Yes, Dan. Yes, Dan. Yes, Dan. Okay. Paris 05. And Dan, I believe so. Or Career Talk. The guy's name is Sunan. Yes, that's the guy. Subhashini, yes. I follow only 3 YouTube channels for Agile Scrum. One is yours, then Career Talk, and one more. Who is the other one? Tell me. Don't follow anyone else. Just follow me, okay? Give me all the likes and subscribes. Subhashini, yes, you are doing a lot of good karma, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you. That's what I try to do. I try to do it because in my heart I want to get more back, because it said that the more you give, the more you get. But somebody told me if you are expecting something, then you are not doing good. So now I stopped expecting. I just want to do good. If God gives me something back, it's okay, but I am not expecting, because if I'm expecting, I don't I feel scared, because I don't want to get be called selfish by God. I want to give. If God is willing to give me back, it's okay. If not, it's okay. Creative Fam Joy. Coach, you're funny. Thank you so much, baby. Paris 05. I know exactly what you mean. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you guys found value from this, and I hope you guys learned a lot. If it can help only one person, that'll make the session successful. So go out, don't give up, be a leader, Be a strong person, be a good person. There is a lot of need for those people. And in this country, you can make as much money as you want if you have these qualities. It's that simple. Thank you so much, guys. I gotta go now. Adios, amigos. Much love. See you soon.